Okay, so hey, Brett here. We're going to work on our hips now. Uh, we're going to get into a tabletop and do a pose that if you've watched any of my videos, you see a lot. This is a good go-to pose. So I'm in a tabletop and I'm going to take one leg and swing it to the same hand, twist it out, and then slide back. Now, in this pose, unless you're on a pretty padded surface, the knee that's back is going to want some kind of pad. So I'm going to go ahead and put that pad there. And let's go ahead and get into this pose again. So let's we'll start on the right side. It's asymmetrical. So I'm going to swing my right foot up to my right hand. My leg should be either perpendicular to the ground or even maybe in front of the hand. I'm going to rotate my right foot out 20, 30, 40, 45 degrees is fine. Then I'm going to slide my left leg back. So slide your left leg back further and make sure your knee is on some padding. Here we go. Now, this is hard to hold. It takes a lot of muscle strength, and you don't want to be using too much muscle strength when you're relaxing. So you'll build that up slowly over time. Use a bench. For example, pardon me, Chesh. I'm gonna slowly slide this over. Yeah, see, I'm gonna slide it over. For example, it's a good option right here. And in fact, this in many respects deepens the pose because my torso is now pushing down and this is really opening up. Now, what is it opening up? I've got two things going on right now, and chest is blocking one of them. On my left side, I've got my hip in extension. So that means I'm opening it up. So I'm opening up my left side. My hip flexors are getting a really nice stretch, and I'm getting my hamstrings on my right side. I've closed the joints, so that's flexion. When you bend your knee, you tend to get more of the muscle belly. And I had to make an adjustment there to make sure I'm on the center of my kneecap because I'm putting a lot of pressure on my kneecap. And over time, you'll get used to that. If it's all over the kneecap, what's going to happen is the body's going to get used to that because you're going to do it a bunch. You're going to breathe, you're going to relax into it. And by doing that, you're telling your body, hey, this is normal. Get used to it. And the body will respond by strengthening up the cartilage in your knee. Kind of like a callus, but it's a good kind of a callus. The first 3 months I did this pose, I used blankets and pillows to hold me up. Now, got my arms locked out, so I'm really using the skeletal structure to keep myself balanced. Another good option is a pillow. Don't want to bother with a kitty though. Gotta be careful. There we go. All right, now to come out of this, you probably just push back, maybe curl your left toes under, push back, extend your right leg. Once the leg is fully extended, that muscle is going to feel okay, but still push back, slide your heel back a little bit before you start to close your leg. Now I'm going to down like this for just a second, just to let things settle. Now, other side. So I'm on a tabletop. I'm going to slide my left leg up. So swing your left leg up and out. Your left foot is right by your left hand or even in front of it. Rotate your foot out 45 degrees. Slide your right foot all the way back, back, back. Make sure you have some nice padding for your knee if you need it. And then just start relaxing into the pose. Now, if you're going to use your knuckles, these two knuckles only, there's bone structure. There's no bone structure in the pinky. The bone does not continue up to the wrist and through. So you actually have structure when you do it this way with these two fingers. Now, if you don't have a bench, but you have a pillow, ooh, that's nice right there. That's big. Stay here for a bit. Now, if you're at all interested in doing the front splits, and most people, of course, are not, but if you are, this is a supporting pose for the front splits. And it does also help with the side splits. Not as much on the side splits, but it does a little bit. That's not to say you're going to be able to do the side splits if you do this pose, but if you do this pose, it will support you working on front splits, not side splits, front. Now remember, it's how it feels, not how it looks. So if I, for example, can use a pillow and get a nice deep pose like right there. Ooh, yeah. Then use that pillow. So a lot of times I use props to help me balance and get just the right hold, feeling just the right location in the muscle. Once again, focusing in on a muscle, focus meditation with breath work. All right, again, to come out of this, curl your back toes under, push back, and then I'm going to lift up a little bit and then slide my leg back without using it. And then I can kick it back in. All right. So once again, sit down as best you can, like so, just for a moment. Now, we've done a lot of what we're doing right now with our ankles. This is, again, plantar flexion. So if this is my ankle, plantar flexion is pointing. Dorsiflexion, which is important for squats, is the opposite. So let's spend just a moment, since we're here already, doing some dorsiflexion. All right, so curl your toes under and then sit back on your heels. And let's just do this for a few minutes. Now, this is half of a pose called pins and needles. We're just going to do this part. Fellow Tai Chi student was asking me how she could work on her ankles, and I introduced her to this pose. A week later, she came back. I swear to you, this is exactly what she said. She said, and I quote, "Brett, why do you hate me so much?" This is a great pose for your ankles. What you might notice, though, is that your knees start to slide, your shins start to get a nice stretch as well. It's a nice stretch until it's not. If you're ever interested in wearing no lift shoes, this is an example of a stretch that will help. And for you Tai Chi folk, when you grip with your feet, this pose is really good for making that grip that much better. This is a very helpful pose for walking, for balance, for foot control, and it's awful. Hurts. My toes don't like it. But once again, we're breathing into discomfort. We're letting our body know this discomfort is okay discomfort, and that translates into the rest of your life. As above, so below, as within. Now, you Tai Chi folk, if you want to add a little bit to this, imagine there is a balloon tied to the fontanelle. So if you think about where your ears are, go up to the tip top there. Imagine there's a balloon there and it's pulling your head up and it pulls your neck back. Great. Now, push your sacrum down and tuck your tailbone under just a little bit. You're working on the second bone, Tai Chi. And then relax that. I keep my chin tucked, but I don't want to try to hold my spine. I don't want to extend my spine like that for during very long during the pose. Now, if you've lasted this long your first time, good on you. Up to 5 minutes. But uh, as you come out of here, you're going to find that your toes kind of hurt a little bit. So here's what I recommend you do. First of all, keep your toes engaged till you get your hands on the ground, and then slowly move your weight forward a little bit, and then slowly take your toes, the weight off your toes. Just lift your feet. Don't do anything. Lift your feet, hold your feet up just for a second, and then point your feet and slowly let your toes relax as you sit back on them for just a moment. All right. Now, to close out, we're going to open up the inside. You might use a pillow to raise your bottom, and that helps you lean forward. So let's do that. Here's a pillow. I'm going to go ahead and sit here. I'm going to sit right on the edge of the pillow because I really want to be able to lean forward. Now, there's my kitty. So let's see. I'll put my feet near the kitty. And now, how far away are my feet? Four. Can't fist say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's four. Okay. I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to allow this to open up. I'm not going to put any weight here, but you certainly can, if you want to, put just a gentle pressure and I'll open this up here. This is a great pose to do when you're sitting on a couch. I do this all the time when I'm sitting on the couch. In fact, for several months, I worked this way. I actually sat this way for hours at a time. So lean forward and let's set the timer. Now, if you have stiffness in your lower back, if you put your forehead on a block or support your forehead, say, oops, I did that last time. Say, I'm going to use my fist to support my forehead. What that does is it puts a little pressure point that gives you some relief in your lower back. Leverage, basically. So what you can do is relax into that, and that can relieve some of the pressure on your lower back. Now, this is going to really open up your glutes as well. So this will probably feel, you'll probably feel this relaxing your lower back. We just twisted your lower back, so now we're stretching it. I'm going to just put my elbows on just above my knees, and that adds just a little bit of pressure. I'm not pushing at all, but that weight adds just a little bit of pressure and opens up and makes me feel that my hamstrings a little bit more. Okay, I'm ready to lower myself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brick and put it like so. I'm not going to push down, but well, actually, I think I might just, yeah, here. I'm going to just reach my arms out and let the weight of my arms leverage, pull my body forward. And now I'm a little bit lower. There we go. All right, now, as with all these poses, I'm going to push up with my hands, not use the muscles I just stretched and my lower back, and be really careful to just stretch the heck out of it. Okay, now, regardless of whether you're on a pillow or not, get on the floor, and then I'm just going to reach back a little bit, twist my shoulders back, pinch my shoulders. All right. Now that's one good little sort of just stretch. But let's go back onto our shins a final time. Now, again, if you can't do this, you could use a pillow, but if you can grasp your hands behind your back, that's great. But even if you can't, externally rotate, or lateral rotation of your hands, and then pull your shoulders back as if to pinch them. And again, you might be able to grab, that's fine. And then look up, push your chest up. And if you want to express this more, you can certainly do something like this. All right, great. So we've opened up our hips, and we're going to close out with a little energy work. See you in a second.